everyone, I wanted to jump on this evening and show you the paper pad that I have picked for the RTS 6x6 paper pad party collaboration. Very excited that Janet asked some of us to join her to work on the Scrapbook Generation sketch class for the 6x6 paper pads, and I believe it was by Allison Davis. So very excited that she asked us to join. I am going to be working from the class sketch number 8, and I decided to use this Amy Tangerine paper pad that I've had in my stash forever. Most of my paper pads, my 6x6, I don't use that often, so I'm kind of excited that this series is on YouTube. So I decided to use this, and then I went and I got my 12x12, and I thought maybe I could combine them and make a layout, but there's just way too much pattern going on here. If I decide to use any of this pattern paper for the background, it will probably be these cameras. But for right now, what I did is I went through my paper pad. I found a solid blue, which is right here, background, which I got this blue paper from Amy Tangerine. No, I did not get it from Amy Tangerine. I'm sorry. I got it from Tuesday Morning. I got like 25 sheets for $2. So I have the 2 pages here. This is Homegrown by Echo Park. The other side is a nice green that goes with the blue. And I pulled out these 5 papers from the paper pad. I'm going to do 3 pictures here. And I'm going to do either one big large photo here, or I'm going to do 4x6 pictures horizontal here. I'm probably going to have a different journaling area. I just put this here kind of as a placeholder, so I know that. I'm not sure what pictures I'm going to scrap. Once I get these 6x6 paper pads cut down, I decide on my pictures and my matting, then I will be able to come back and add some different embellishments. Not sure what route I want to go there yet. And then this is some stuff that was laying on my desk that I was putting away, and I just threw it on here because I may need it. I may be able to use it for some clustering. So we'll see what happens. But so far, that's my thought process. And I'll be back with the cut out version of the paper and then talk about my embellishments. So I'm back. I've picked out my pictures, and I just wanted to quick show you how wonderful this guide is that Janet from RTS taught us how to do. So our embossing folders, we do a sample, we put it in a binder, sheet protectors, and we number them. My pictures, which I'll show you in a second, are in reference to sewing. So I was flipping through here. I was looking maybe for something spring, floral, and I was flipping through, and I came across this one right here, which is a Sizzix embosser that has measuring tapes on it. I thought that that would be perfect for my layout, since we had to do measuring and sewing and so on. If I wouldn't have had this binder, I wouldn't even remembered that I had it. So I love that binder. Thank you once again, Janet. And then these are the pictures that I've decided to scrap. I've done some of the embossing already on the 6x6 paper pad. I think I'm going to stagger these, add a few smaller ones in between the bigger banners. I should say the larger banners. And I found some really cool flower buttons, which I have a whole container full of them. Layout for the RTS Scrapbook Generation 6x6 Allison Davis YouTube hop. And this is my final layout. The sketch I used was sketch number 8. I found that with the 6x6 paper pad, as I was going through the class, that I like to add more embellishment to mine. So I stuck to the sketch. My original idea was something like this. I was going to scrapbook this up higher and have the banners going this way, but I changed paths, which I probably will end up doing that. I cut my photos incorrectly, so they weren't lining up, and then I wanted to put these extra little bits and bobs up here to add to the blue solid paper, because I like more pattern paper when I scrap. So this is a layout about my daughter and I. We had to learn how to sew pillowcases. So I'm not a sewer, so I went on YouTube. We figured out how to do the hot dog style pillowcase sewing technique, and then I had to teach a bunch of, I think they were 7th graders at the time, about 13 of us, how to sew, cut the pillowcases, sew them, iron them, and they were going to a charity, Conquer Cancer, at one of our local hospitals. Children with cancer, they like to have pillowcases donated, and then they put the fun pillowcases on their pillows. So that's what the premise of the layout is. And I wanted to bring in stitching because we were sewing. As I said, I found the embossing folder with the measuring tape, and it was still a little lacking some embellishment or texture. I guess texture would be the word that I used. So I went into my smash up kit, and I found some ribbon that's in there. So I took that, and then I thought, let's see. Let's go into my border punches. So I have a bunch of different Creative Memory border punches. This one is our memory maker, but they work in the Creative Memories. So I was thinking that maybe I would do this here. This one I liked also, and I had the hearts I thought about. And then I came with You and Me, and I don't use this one that often, and I thought this would be a perfect layout, but it still wasn't enough. So what I did is I did the You and Me, and then I came through with this bubble punch. And my thought was to put watercolor paper underneath this so it would show through. But when I did that, I didn't like it as much as the white coming through. As you can see, I put a little white border around my layout. So so I went with that. I did the stitching. I like sometimes I like to put my title. Sorry, you probably can't see that. My title down the side. And it kind of reminded me of a pillowcase. So, you know, you have that little border there, and then this is the top, and then this is the rest. So I'm probably reading into it, but then I used the plastic flowers. I was going to use more of them because I do have this whole container, but then I started messing around with some of these, the leftover parts that I had from the 6x6 paper pad. So I added that to this to give it a little more depth. And then I had these little chipboards, which were in my mashup kit that I want to use with this kit. So I added those. I didn't have a picture for here. So this is just a little, I popped up part of the 6x6 paper pad. This heart has creating, love, make, build. So I thought that was perfect. Choose happy and feeling good. And we were feeling pretty good because neither one of us had any idea of what we were doing, and we made these awesome pillowcases. So I was feeling good with coffee. So I'm going to journal here, and then I am going to put the date here, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I added in this I cut out from a piece of paper. These are just little bits and pieces that I had laying around that I used. For my stitching. Whoops, sorry. I also wanted to show you, I used both this and this, and this is, you can't get these anymore. I think I have 4 or 5 of these that I can stitch borders with, and I used the pokey tool, the piercing tool is what they call it. So I used that, and then I just used some yellow and white twine, which was hard to get through my needle. But I was able to do that because I wanted to bring in this yellow, and that's where I have these yellows here, and then I have the yellow in the thread. I have the gold in 3 spots, if the triangles, if you like to scrapbook that way. I've done many of those, so I was pretty happy about that. And I think, oh, I know what I wanted to show you. The last thing I wanted to show you was, so I used 1, 2, 3, 4 paper pads, or 4 pieces of the 5 pieces out of that paper pad. This is what I have left. I probably could have used this if I didn't emboss it all the way up, because every time I went to go put it somewhere, it was facing the wrong way. So I'll use these to tuck into one of my layouts that I do in the next couple days. I mean, it's a good color. I have it in my mashup kit, so that will work out perfectly. I inked the edges of everything, and I used Chip Sapphire for that. Did not ink the middle, and I can say that I got this event scrapped. I think this is, like I said, 7th grade. She's a senior now, so I'm very happy that I'm moving along with my scrapping and getting these pictures done and in albums. Hope you enjoyed my video and my process. Have a great day. Bye-bye.